I, for the first time, watched the series Switched at Birth and just finished it, and these are my initial thoughts after finishing the series. I don't like this woman very much. Not the actress. The actress is completely fine and great. I'm sure she's a nice person, but the character Regina, I wasn't loving it. My big issue with her was I think she had such a huge inferiority complex that the Kenishes had all this money to the point that it let her make decisions that were harmful to both Daphne and Bay. And I got really frustrated with how little interest she showed in Bay and getting to know her biological daughter when the Kenishes were just opening up their arms wide to Daphne and wanting to treat her like they knew her entire life. It took like a couple seasons for her to actually, in my opinion, make efforts to try to have some sort of relationship with Bay. She kept Bay at arm's length for the longest time, and it was really aggravating to watch. I did not like Daphne. The actress is cool, but Daphne, the character, I was not a fan of. It wasn't until season 5 that she became tolerable and was starting to really have some decent character development, in my opinion. But most of the series, Daphne was whiny and was really, really, really mean to Bay. She was just so mean to Bay in the first few seasons, and Bay tried really hard to connect with her, to connect with the deaf culture that Daphne was a part of, and Daphne just threw everything back in her face anytime Bay expressed any form of being left out, feeling like an outsider in the family, feeling like she wasn't loved or accepted places. Daphne would be like, "Why are you trying to make yourself the victim?" And it's like, girl, all you do is make yourself the victim. What are you talking about? You literally found out that your parents are millionaires and they want to throw all their money at you and spoil you and make up for all the years that they didn't raise you, and you're mad at Bay for having an identity crisis about who she is. Okay. And at least half the problems in the show are because Daphne caused them because she needed to cause a whole bunch of drama. Like in the final season with that baseball athlete who was taking steroids, which I'm not condoning, but he was taking them because he had gotten hurt from an incident with a cop being rough with him, and he was trying to jumpstart the healing process, and she was just like, "This has nothing to do with me. I think I'll tell on him." But it was like she was finding ways to just get involved in other people's business, and that was irritating to me. Bay. I love Bay. I loved her character, and I felt so bad for her. Out of all the characters in this series, I felt for her the most. Imagine feeling different your entire life, feeling like the outsider of your family, and then you're like, maybe I'm not related to them, and then you actually find out you're not related to them, and you're like, holy cow, who am I? And not only that, but you find out you were supposed to have this whole other life, be raised by this single mom, grow up in a completely different environment than what you actually did. And then on top of that, you find out that you are a part of this whole other culture and ethnicity that you should have been raised in, but you weren't. What made me feel bad for her the most was her having to deal with Daphne and the fact that the Kenishes were doing everything. The moment they found out that Daphne was their biological daughter, they really tried to treat both the girls equally, but they also went out of their way to welcome Daphne in, to throw all their love at her. Whereas with Regina, going back to Regina, Regina was like, "Oh, hi. What do you want?" Her biological mom in the show in the beginning made no effort. And even still, I feel like their connection throughout the series just wasn't as strong as Daphne's was with the Kenishes. And I don't know if that was intentional with the writers or if it was just the chemistry between the two actors. I'm not sure what it was, but I just felt so bad for Bay because I feel like she drew the shorter end of the straw. I feel like Daphne came out still being super, super, super close with Regina, super close with the Kenishes, and Bay was still left trying to figure out her relationship with her biological mom, Regina. Anyway, some of my initial thoughts on some of the characters in this series. If you watched Switched at Birth, let me know your thoughts on the characters and storylines in the comments.